All right, welcome back to Coach's Corner. This is Coach Adam Hale. I'm Bob Brombach. Do you remember in the beginning of the season when we were fighting off the sun to try to do these things? Yeah. Now it
was hotter, I know that.
It was much hotter. Actually, it's not even that bad. I think it's like 60 degrees today,
good football weather.
Wednesday of the season. It's pretty nice. So anyway, we're back here for another Coach's Corner. Excited to be with you as Grandsburg is trying to finish up an undefeated regular conference season. Got that one ding against St. Croix Falls, who hasn't lost a game either. One heck of a game on Friday night. I've been trying to not have any recency bias when I say this, but that is probably one of the top 5 high school games that I think I've ever seen. You've seen a whole bunch more than me, but that was a good game against Ladysmith in Ladysmith on Friday.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, both teams, I thought, did things well. Back and forth. It was never really over. Even in the last possession when it was like, I really don't want to come out and have to field an onside kick. And if they get on it, Hail Mary time.
They were a capable enough team.
Their odds are going to be better than ours to catch that Hail Mary. So, yeah, I was really glad we stopped them there and got off the field and got away with the win.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, we had, Grandsburg had 2 14-point leads. Right away, scored the first 2 times you touched the ball, and it's like, oh, is this going to happen like this? And then, no, it didn't happen like that. And then just Ladysmith, 14-14, 21-21, 28-27, they missed an extra point on their third, and then they got a 2-point conversion. So it was 28-28, I think, into the fourth quarter, or close. And boy, that was an exciting, thrilling game. They played really well. Ladysmith was really good, almost 400 yards through the air. They were kind of forced to go to the air a little bit, but dang, that was an aerial assault I have never seen before. I know you had, before we got back here, the Cumberland game.
Yeah, that was the worst of all time.
Kobe Berghammer.
Worst or best, depending on what side you're on. But
well, you guys came out.
Phenomenal.
That was a basketball score, if I remember right, that Cumberland game, because Kobe had all those passing yards and touchdowns, but then John had like 5 touchdowns of his own. That was bonkers. I'm sure that. But I didn't see that game. The only game that I can think of that immediately comes to mind, there might be other games close, but that the Regis level 3 game where Leo the whole team, but Leo carried like a ton, made like 20-some tackles, and but that was it. And that had a lot of stakes. This one had a lot of stakes too. I mean, conference championship seeding on the line, kind of, I would say. I mean,
for sure.
The winner of that one's going to have a higher seed, almost certainly. So, I don't know. Recap that one. Just what were your thoughts? How'd you recover? All those things.
Yeah, it was a fun game. We came out on top. That makes it fun. But just like you said, the back and forth, seeing some of the plays they made, and just thinking, how can we stop them? The quarterback's putting it in a tiny window, even with great coverage. We showed film and we froze it a couple times and said, we're in perfect coverage. 2 or 3 times. Perfect.
Exactly.
Guys' hands are right there and the ball is just right over the top and just in a perfect spot. They made some great catches, some great plays. But I think, our guys, I was proud of them because, we could have came out flat that third quarter. We got that big turnover and then it kind of warmed down a little bit. And fourth quarter, just kept putting up the points and escaping that one. So it was a fun game, and like you said, to get up top the conference and put us in a position right now where we got to close it out and win this Friday. So again, that'll help not only not sharing the conference title, but also with seeding. Right.
Of course, there is always that off chance of the tie, but you are definitely in the driver's seat with the win over Ladysmith. You have a 2-game plus lead over everybody else. So taking care of business against rival Unity. How do you get the guys to go from the big, huge emotional high of beating Ladysmith to taking on Unity, who has definitely improved throughout the course of the year as Coach Nyhus, new coach over there, has started to get his guys kind of in place and kind of figuring some things out that he wants to accomplish. How do you get the guys to refocus and get the job done?
Yeah, I kind of knew that. I told people before the season started I'd much rather play Unity early.
Yeah.
Because you knew there was going to be growing pains. And then they had guys out the first few weeks, so that hurt them. But yeah, I mean, you got a new coach in the program now. They're starting to catch their stride, and guys are learning his system, and it takes a while, and they're starting to play a lot better and play with teams, and their record doesn't really reflect who they are. And our guys know, again, it's like, all right, they're out the records. You know, we've always battled with Unity, and it will be no different this Friday, and they know what's on the line. They don't want to share the conference title because I'm sure Ladysmith's going to take care of business. And then seeding-wise, too, it's a big game. So it's not like we're not playing for anything this week. There's so much on the line, so I think it's a little bit easier to get the kids ready when it's that kind of circumstances.
Perfect. How injury, you guys have pretty much been injury-free. A couple nicks and bruises here, but haven't had to, I don't recall having anybody really miss any significant time. And it looks like that's the same story into this week.
Yeah,
Is that
fortunate.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, we've got a lot of guys dinged up, but it's week 9.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're lucky to be in the position we are, not losing guys that, you know, in some years, you know, you lose guys in week 2 for the year or week 5 or whatever it might be. Like last year, lost a couple guys for the season, middle of the year.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just other than guys being sore and being dinged up a little bit, overall pretty good. And just got to, you know, I tell them we're going to try to scale back, you know, this time of year. It's tough when you're getting ready for a conference rival, but try to scale things back a little bit and keep them fresh for Friday.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, that's a smart way to do it. You guys, hopefully, I mean, obviously you're playoff eligible. If you win on Friday, looks like a 1 or 2 seed. Get to play a couple more games in Grantsburg if all things kind of go the way they're looking right now. What does it mean to have some home games here to start the playoffs, or at least one home game? I won't speak multiple because it's winter.
Yeah, I gotta win, and then to get, you know, at least to open up at home. And again, talking about playing for stuff, the kids want to play at home.
Yeah.
And so everybody wants to be home. So each win you can get this time of year is so critical for seedings and being able to open at home. That's a lot of fun for the kids. And again, we'd rather be here than getting on a bus and going 2 hours to wherever and playing.
Right.
So yeah, we're happy to have that first one at home.
Yeah, and I shouldn't speak out of turn because I've seen some weird things happen with these with the new way that they do things. You never know. I think it's pretty safe to say you'll have at least your first game will be a home game, but who knows about how the seeding will go.
Yeah.
I saw you guys are now ranked 7th after a huge win on Friday. And the week previous, you were ranked 6th. So you win that big game and get dinged. That's why those rankings are for entertainment purposes only. They're fun, but they don't mean anything. Yeah. So let's move on. Just kind of reflecting. I know the season's not over, but a little mini reflection here. How would you describe, if you could do like 3 words or less about this the season so far? How would you kind of describe the season?
Up, down, up.
Oh.
How about that?
Okay, that's good. Is that 3 words or 2? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. three syllables. High expectations.
Okay.
Just because I really appreciate our senior class and know how much it means to them. So I thought we'd have a good season just because of that. And having our line back, which is beyond awesome, having all those guys back and having the experience. So I think the expectations were there to have a good year. You know, how good and how far, didn't really know. Then we struggled out of the gate.
Yeah.
Even week 1, I thought, you know, going back and looking at that film a little while ago, seeing some of the mistakes, you know, and just saying, wow, we're lucky to win that one, honestly.
That was Amory, right?
Yep. And then falling to St. Croix, there was that lull where, all right, hey, we got to get things figured out. And then kind of putting a streak together now and be in a position we are. I mean, we're back riding that high and just trying to get, you know, through to the players that if you guys, you know, keep preparing and, you know, do what you've been doing, things are going to go good and you got, you know, everything to play for right in front of you.
Yeah. Yeah, it still is. One thing to touch on those linemen, that was kind of the big thing coming into the season, like you said. And they knew it too, like, oh, we're all back. But they didn't just stop there. Like, they didn't rest on their laurels. They were working hard, and they have gotten better. Sometimes kids hit, I don't know, they just stop working. But these guys, they dominate just about every play of every game. It's fun to watch them, and that's a credit to those guys, credit to you coaches to keep them going, and, letting them know that it's still out in front of you. The sky is the limit. So, that's a great way to put it. Up, down, up.
And I mean, the line too, we'll be the first to admit, they've had their struggles too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're not going to be perfect. And what I like about them is even if they get beat on a play or have a bad game, because there's always, we talk film and grade guys and say, this wasn't your best. The thing with those guys is they always bring the energy to practice.
Oh, yeah.
They're always upbeat, and you can just tell it matters to them. So even when they don't have their best performance or, they get beat, they come back with the right attitude, taking it personally and trying to improve, which is really nice about that group.
Awesome. Good. That's a good group. Okay, let's finish off with this one. I'm thinking about fun questions to ask you. It's football related. It's team related. So if you could have one football guy or gal come back or come over and talk to your team before the playoffs start, who would you choose and why?
Somebody to address the team.
Somebody to address the team. I don't know if it would be like
Does it have to be Grantsburg alone?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, you could pick Knut
I'm
going
to
to
go with
Vince Lombardi here.
This might not be a popular choice.
Let's hear it.
I'm going to go with Nick Saban.
Oh.
Because even though I've never liked Alabama, I've never cheered for his teams, probably ever, I've always disrespected him and the talks he's had and the things he says to his players and just kind of how he ran his program where, he's a no-nonsense guy.
Yeah.
He'd come in and tell kids the way it is. And at the same time, I think do a good job of pumping them up, getting them ready to go. And he might not be a huge rah-rah guy, but I don't know. I think he would be very interesting to listen to.
Oh, cool. I did not see that one coming. That's a good answer. Nick Saban.
It's okay.
He's on. He gets.
I love him on college football.
He's on college football game day. He sits next to Pat McAfee, and that they couldn't be two different attitudes. It doesn't seem like just.
Yeah, they are opposites.
They are total opposites. But
maybe I should have Pat McAfee come in.
the boys. I would like that. Yeah, I would like.
We could have Pat McAfee follow up Saban and really get him going.
That would work. Little high school game day here on
perfect
after a team dinner. All right, cool. Well, that is going to wrap up. This is the last regular season one. We'll be back with the Coach's Corner to wrap things up. Finally, put finality on it next week. But until then, come on down here. Last game of the year. Last regular season game of the year. It's youth night. Can you tell us a little bit about what's going on there, or is that something like stay tuned?
It's kind of with the way the season went this year, we want to do more next year because youth football will still be going on. Like next year, we want to have actually some flag football maybe at halftime.
All right.
This year, we just want kids, like, if they're available at halftime, we did it last year too, to line up, and welcome the players back on the field and to see that excitement going. I know the guys like it, and hopefully the kids like it. So hopefully a lot of kids come out to the game and come on down and make that tunnel and get us energized.
That's awesome. Yeah, I saw them up there. I saw pictures today. They had their uniform or their shirts on, their jerseys on, and welcomed the kids off the bus at the elementary school. And those kids just came flying out of that tunnel like they were having fun. That's a cool thing that you guys are doing. So, all right, 7 o'clock Friday night, Rival Unity. Fill the bleachers, bring the kids, and we're gonna have a great time hosting Rival Unity and hopefully cheering on the Pirates' undefeated conference championship. Thanks, Coach.
You bet.